Hey, it's really good to catch up with you again because
Yeah,
it's
same,
been
same.
so long. We haven't spoken since
Is that your
the
initial kickoff?
yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what I wanted to do in this call today is kind of just I mean, first and foremost, I want to go over a bit of a recap because you've
Hmm.
come so far. But I wanted to go back all the way to the start first
Yeah,
because in our initial call, I very vividly remember us, both of us, being like, is this going to work? Are
yeah,
you going to be able to lose body fat and achieve, get abs? So why don't you go through, I guess, run me through, how's it all been?
yeah. I mean, it's flown by. Like the last 4 months seems to have gone so fast. But yeah, because I remember I came into it as like didn't really, and well, had tried like cutting before, didn't really work, and got a bit worried, especially like when you mentioned the thyroid issues. Like, my mum's got thyroid issues. Maybe that's the thing. Like that's not going to work. Anyway, got the test, and there were like a couple of anomalies, but nothing super serious. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just me. I'm either like not tracking it right, or I've not gone hard enough in the past before. I've got my maintenance calories wrong, or something like that.
Mm,
Um, and I feel like definitely in the first couple of weeks, the weight just kind of went straight down, which was really good to see. But I think what I realized was when I tried to cut before, like you'd weigh food out, and you'd be like, oh, that's 13 grams. That's about 10. I'll put 10 in the tracker.
mm,
And in my head, I was like, well, that doesn't matter. It's 3 grams. But when you're doing it all the time throughout the day, that extra
mm,
1 gram, extra 2 grams, especially when it's like oil, it does add up. Um, so I think that was a really like eye opener for me.
true.
And I think the other one was with Kieran. I think he instantly just went, I don't think your maintenance is 2,500 or whatever. I think it's like 22, 21. So,
Mm,
oh, that really shocks me because I run so much, I do so much sport. Like, how can that be possible?
mm,
Um, but I mean, clearly he was right because that's what's ended up cutting the weight down. Um, so yeah, it was kind of good to see those two aspects coming together.
yeah.
Um, and then yeah, just kind of rode it out. I hit a little bump in the middle where I like plateaued for like 3 weeks, and I
Mm,
was like, right, that's it. That's where I was before. Everything's just stopped now. Um, but no, I mean, like all the WhatsApp groups, they were just like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, trust it, trust it, trust it. And yeah, eventually, like the last 2 weeks, I was like, oh, okay, I've dropped it. Like, I mean, it's natural that it slows down, right? But
yeah.
I was
Super
like,
natural.
this has just stopped. Like,
Yeah.
and then
And look,
eventually,
and like I said, I'm sure I said it in either an overview check-in or into the group itself. Like
hmm,
as you start to get leaner and there's just less body
yeah,
fat to lose, that's when it starts to slow down.
yeah,
And it's in those moments of those 2-3 week plateaus where people generally drop off and they're just
hmm,
like, all right, it's
that's it,
done.
I'm done.
That's it. Because especially when you're in the thick of it, those weeks, like 1 week in itself feels so long.
Yeah,
And if it's like times 3 weeks, it's like, nah, fuck it. This
yeah.
is done. But I'm really glad you were able to push through.
No, definitely, definitely. And like feeling good, like just in such good shape now after like 4 months, basically.
Dude, you're
Like
looking
best shape
amazing.
I've been. It feels so good. Like
You're
I've
looking
had
so good, bro.
thank you.
I was talking to Kieran because you've got that mad kind of like taper,
Yeah, I had no
you know?
idea. Until
Dude,
like
I'm
two
just
weeks
like, what
before
the
the end, I was
fuck
like,
is
what?
this? It looks so good. And
I know.
so what I want to know is like, well, first and foremost, the people around you, have they started to like realize and notice?
I think day to day, I don't think people notice that much. But
Mm,
especially like the last month or so, I've had like especially a lot of people like the sports clubs and things like that. They're like, you're looking really, really like in good shape. What have you been doing? And I was like,
yeah.
well, just losing some weight, stopped eating so much shit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. But I think that the big one for me was I had like a uni reunion. So I met up with some friends from uni like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and literally just walked into them and they were like, "You're different. You're really different."
Really?
And they like even they started asking me like, "Have you done before and after photos? Can I see them? Can I see them?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, but I don't really want to."
Oh, that's
Like, and then
hilarious.
showed them, and they were just like, "That's so cool!" Like, come to.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And what about your partner? because obviously, like, when you go from a place where you didn't have abs to now where
Mm.
you've just like got abs, that's different.
It is different. I think it's a bit weird because like my partner didn't really do it along with me.
Yeah.
So it was like understanding what I wanted to do, and it's like, yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But it was very much like, okay, well, if you're going to do this, you're going to cook everything, and
Mhm.
I'll eat what you eat. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's a lot of pressure for me to do for 4 months. um, so like super supportive now the changes happen, but I think looking back, it was like you could have been a little bit more supportive.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, it does come down to that understanding, you know.
yeah, yeah, and
Um,
I don't blame. Like it was my choice to do this. I'm not trying to drag
mm.
anyone along with me. So yeah,
Plus, if you
it's what it
think
is.
about it, like it's such an, you know, to like what I would consider like normal people,
Mm.
tracking your food, weighing everything,
Oh yeah,
being
yeah.
super meticulous is like you're the weirdo. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no, exactly. So
So I
I
get
didn't
it.
do it like if we went out or anything. Like I feel like I kind of went into it thinking this is going to be really hard. I can't eat out. I can't do anything. But especially like once I got over that initial, I don't want to call it like an obsession, but an obsession with weight and everything. I was like, no, actually, do you know what? I can go out and if I guess that this is like 600 calories, even if I'm a few hundred off, it's not the end of the world.
Mm,
And yeah, it was kind of a nice balance to find in the middle.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And so, what was your starting weight again?
82.
82 kilos, and then
Yeah.
you got to a low of 72?
71.5, I think, was the
71.
very low. Like that was the progress photo where I was just like, I'm
Yeah,
dry. I'm dry as fuck. Like
that's sick. That's
literally the
sick.
next day I was like 600 extra grams because I just had some water and some carbs.
Just hypersensitive at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. And so I'm curious to know, like, what did you find? I mean, the whole process is pretty fucking hard. Like, it's
Mhm.
pretty challenging. And you know, I'll be honest, not a lot of people can actually take
Mm.
themselves through what you did. Um, but I want to know, like, what did you find to be the most challenging thing for you? That either being physical or mental, or a mixture of the both.
Uh, I think there's two things that really stick out as quite difficult. One was probably like 10 weeks in, I was going to the gym and I was like, my numbers are going down and like
Mm,
pretty quickly as well. And like, it's weird because I'm doing this like 3 to 4 days a week. But like on my bench, I think I started at like 85, 90. And then by like 10 weeks in, I was like, I can barely get like 60 up. Like this is hard. And I
mm,
think that it's the pushing through that of like, no, do you know what? This is expected. You're not eating as much. You've not got the energy kind of stuff.
mm,
So just to have the motivation to keep going. And then I think the other one is, I think because I hit like a really long 3 week plateau, that just not giving up and being like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway.
mm,
Um, I think they're the two big ones that stick out for me. It was like just a long plateau. And then
mm,
I think I mentioned it to Kieran in one of the checklists. I was like, I feel weak as shit right now. Like I can't lift anything. I can't run anywhere. uh,
mm.
so yeah, but I mean, I'm glad pushed through in the end, and that I'm on the extra carbs, so the numbers are just starting to go back up. So
Yeah,
not like
it
I've
happens
lost
quick,
it.
doesn't it? It happens quick, man. Um, yeah. So how are you feeling with, you know, now that you're in composition lock-in phase? True caloric maintenance. What was your lowest calories, and where did we go after composition lock-in, or as we
Uh,
entered into that?
1500 was the lowest he
Yeah.
ever pushed me to, and for the well, at least the first week of the lock-in, it's been 1900.
Mm,
Which when he first said, I was like, that still seems a bit low. That doesn't seem like,
mm,
given I run like 50k a week and I
mm,
play sports and all this kind of stuff, that seems quite low. But I'm just going to stick with it, see where it goes. And I
mm.
think, like you said in the intro video, I'm just so hungry, and I
Yeah.
didn't expect it. Like, I'm more hungry on the 1900 than I was on the 1500. I can't get full no matter what I'm eating,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
a really weird feeling.
Isn't it? You
Yeah,
know, you expect to go from lower calories to more calories and be satisfied.
yeah, yeah.
Because sometimes it's a pretty significant increase. Going from 15 to 1900, obviously, there was a bit of a metabolic adaptation that occurred with
Yeah, yeah.
you, so it kind of like dropped your perceived maintenance. But we have some other guys that have to go up, plus 1500 calories
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes. And it happens no matter how many extra calories someone gets. The same thing happens where they just all of a sudden start feeling really fucking hungry,
Yeah.
almost ravenous, and like a bottomless pit. But that does clear. It does.
Yeah, yeah. Like the last couple of days have been all right because it's been like about a week now, I think. And literally in like the first 2 days, I shot up by like a kilo to like 73. I was like, fuck, like this, I could put it all back on straight away. But then literally I've had like 4 days in a row of 73, 73, 73, 73. So,
Yeah.
okay, settle down now. It's not too bad.
Yeah. And that's just your body kind of filling back up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just doing its thing. Have you noticed in the gym a difference in appearance to your muscles yet?
Yeah, they feel like they've filled out quite a lot more.
Yeah.
And like instantly within a couple of days, it's just like, oh, like
Yeah.
so obviously like it's going to be like you say the water and the glycogen. It's not actual muscle, but it just looks like muscle. So
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
That's a good feeling. Are you taking pump formula before you train?
No, so I can't have caffeine, which is
True.
also I don't think I ever mentioned that at the start, but I'm like,
So you've done this whole thing without caffeine?
yeah.
Oh, that's like on extra hard
I
difficulty.
know. But
Damn.
no, I can't eat it. I can't process caffeine. So
So what happens with you if you were to have caffeine?
nothing.
Oh, it just doesn't work.
Literally nothing. It just doesn't work. My heart gets really fast, but apart from that, that's it.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
So the doctors were just like, just don't drink it. It's clearly not working for you.
I would recommend, because you can get stim free, so caffeine free pre-workout,
Okay.
and so it's called pump formula,
Mm-hmm.
and it has ingredients to assist with blood flow. There's a bit of focus ingredients in there as well, but the pumps, now that you've got carbs in you, if you get onto the pump formula, the pumps that you will experience in the gym will be like no other. You'll be like, holy fuck. And you'll like get really addicted to it.
Yeah, yeah. No,
To the pump, that is, not the formula.
Yeah.
But that's really cool. That's really, really cool. And so I guess from here, right, we're going to set you in composition lock-in phase. You've just gone through week 1. I'd probably say another 3 weeks for you.
Okay.
What we want to do is we really want like allow your body to make those readjustments to more food, and we want to do it nice and slowly, so that essentially what we're going to be trying to look for in your scale weight is we actually want, now that it went up to 73, ideally over the next couple of weeks we want to see it drop back down.
Okay.
Yeah, that may or may not happen. Everyone's different. But if it does happen, or if it just is the same, we know we're in the clear to start really ramping up those calories.
Cool.
Which will obviously be when we transition into the lean build.
Yeah.
And that's when things really get fun, like a lot of fun, because you'll be, the way that we like to scale food or calories is usually in the form of carbohydrates first.
Mm-hmm.
Until carbohydrates get so high that the ratio between fat and carbs is like a little bit difficult, and then we start to increase fat.
Yeah, I think that's what I've noticed already. Actually, like every single day this week, I've been under on the carbs, and I'm just like, I can't get any more carbs in without going over on the fats.
Yeah, fruit, dude.
Yeah, that's basically what I started adding in. Like, I just have the bananas, have the apples,
fruit. What else? Carbs. What's the main carb source?
Normally it's rice, just because we're from like an Asian household. But I think through the cut it was like cauliflower, broccoli, that kind of stuff. I'm not really into bread, so never did bread or pasta.
Do you have an air fryer?
Yes, yeah.
So when I was on really high carbs, what I would do often is just grab potatoes and then chuck them in the air fryer, like cut them up as chips, and then just eat them on the side, just like randomly.
Yeah.
So that works really well if
Yeah.
you're trying to get some extra carbs and you don't really want to eat fruit.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, cool. So 1900 calories. Yeah, I think Bruno's done your check-in like literally just then.
Yeah, it's about the time.
Yeah, it's about that time. So what I want to know from you is, what was your favorite part? Like, to the whole process, to the whole kind of cut and commit, what
Yeah.
would you say is your most favorite part?
I mean, it's probably cliche, but I quite like the last week because I was like, I'm really seeing this now because that's where it goes.
It's all coming
Um,
together.
yeah, but I think I got like really lucky with the guys in the GSA because I was like they just feel so supportive and everyone's chatty.
Yeah,
So I don't think I can pinpoint like one moment, but it's just been like the whole thing of having that backbone of support. Like, hey guys, look, I messed up or I'm
dude,
struggling today, and they were just like, yeah, that's fine.
your group is
They're
so
so
fucking
good.
supportive.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they're all just amazing people. It's
No.
actually crazy because, obviously, sometimes it's kind of just luck of the draw,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because we get people coming in from all places all over the world, and sometimes we just don't know
yeah,
these people, right? Obviously, we don't know these people in the beginning. And every now and then we'll get a GSA that has like, some people that are kind of like,
yeah.
I'd call them like, some rotten eggs, which is normal. But you guys, it's just like every single person is just amazing.
Yeah, everyone's so cool.
Yeah. Nah, the group is really cool. We've got Mark finishing up
Hmm.
his cut phase today,
Oh,
so I'm
perfect.
really excited to put that in. I
Yeah,
think he
yeah.
had another a binge, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he
Yeah.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I went off one time, but I tracked everything, don't worry. It's like, it's
Yeah.
good on you.
Yeah. So we gotta pull him out. Like, these are the early signs, these are the signs, and it's like, do we push him again? No, absolutely not. We just
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
bring him out. Yeah. So he's done, and I think after that, I think the week after, Anthony will be done
Anthony's
as
really, yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's really cool. What I want to know from you is, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask me around maybe the composition lock-in, relative to training, nutrition, anything, or further into the lean build?
So I think one thing I did want to chat about
Mm,
was not last week, no, not last week, but the week before. I got like a checkup with work because they just do them for us every now and then.
mhm,
And part of it was they gave us a DEXA scan, so, like bone, whatever it's like bone density, but it tells you like all the fat and distribution and everything.
mm,
Um, so one thing I found really interesting was they were like, for your height and weight and like build and stuff like that, you're in like the top 6% for low body fat. So it's like, well, that's pretty cool to hear. Like, it's all showing that it's paying
that
off.
is cool.
But when they did the breakdown of the muscle, they were like, for your body build and whatever, height, weight, age, your legs, you're in like the top 15%. You've got really muscly legs. And I was
Mhm.
like, well, I run a lot, I do a lot of sports, a lot of jumping. That makes
Dense.
sense.
Yeah,
But then they were like, your trunk, like chest and abs,
yeah,
you're like middle 50% for muscle mass.
yeah,
And then your arms, you're in the bottom 15%.
yeah.
So you're so like unbalanced from muscle
Interesting.
mass.
Yeah.
And the guy was basically just like, I'm not going to tell you to stop training legs, but basically stop training legs. Do some stuff on your arms, man. So I don't know. I didn't know whether like to message Kieran and be like, "Hey, can you just change up my program and do 3 days of
Mm,
arms?" Like, whether
yeah.
that's worth it, or if you just be like, "No, actually stick to what you're doing, keep training
Well,
everything."
I mean, I would say yes, right?
Mm.
So when we have everyone in the deficit, right? Because the chances of us developing new muscle tissue is so low.
Yeah, yeah,
We kind of like to keep it nice and balanced. And then when everyone gets lean enough, so we can actually visually see exactly what the physique looks like
yeah.
as we transition into the composition lock-in, and further that, even more important, the lean build. That's
Mm.
when training really starts to become I guess, more specific to what we need to improve.
Yeah.
So we're absolutely going to make those adjustments for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So whether that's 3 days upper body or, 1 day lower body or whatever, the volume and, exercise distribution will really depend on your ability to recover.
Mm.
And so the way that we kind of like to do it is we could put you through a test block, where we make those adjustments, see how you handle it, and then
Yeah.
we kind of follow your ability to recover. And then going into the next block after that, we start to scale volume up. So it kind of
Okay.
like goes hand in hand with like food going up, training volume going up. And yeah,
No, that makes sense.
but I would say, yeah, Kieran and I were assessing your physique, and definitely arms. We want to bring those up.
Yeah.
Delts, we want to bring delts, arm up.
Mm.
I'd say your pecs are pretty good.
Yeah.
Pecs are good, but lats and back traps area we want to bring up as well. Would you agree?
No, definitely. Because I think I probably should have taken a different angle, but you can kind of see it in the legs. Like, I've got massive thighs.
Yeah, you got some fucking
and then it's
tree
just
trunk.
it's just not there, the upper body.
Mewtwo build.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
no, definitely that. I think that would be really good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy with it. Like, I've got some biceps, I've got some abs and whatever, but I was like, it's you start getting picky now, it's like, oh, this could be big, this could be better. So
I know.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, you're probably just never ever going to be satisfied.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You can be proud. You'll be proud of like all of what you've achieved and where you currently are, but you'll never be satisfied.
Yeah.
So it just comes with the territory.
No, that's fine. I accepted that. But yeah, when he was like, your top 15 for legs and bottom 15 for arms, I was like, oh, fuck.
It's such a
because it's normally the other way around. Like, people don't train the legs and they got this, what's it called?
Yeah.
Legs,
that's most people, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'd be proud about that.
Whereas I'm just bottom heavy. That's the way it goes. So.
Yeah. So you run 50K.
Yeah, I run a lot. Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
Outside?
I just like running. A bit of both. Like, sometimes on the treadmill, or on like courts and stuff. So I do a lot of badminton and tournaments and squash and stuff like that. So just stick the watch on, and then most weeks it's like, oh, you've done 50K, you've done 60K this week. So.
You haven't got into pickleball yet?
No, never. People have said it's really good, but I'd prefer like the bigger rackets for. So,
true.
Yeah, you can really hit it.
Yeah. No, that's cool, dude. Well, did you have any other questions?
No, I think that was the main one. Like, fantastic. I'm not in a rush to be like, oh, what happens after the next 4 weeks? Like, I'll just take it as it comes. That's the best way for me to go.
Yeah. No, and do you feel like you've learned a lot as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that's definitely one of the, I guess, the main things that we want to make sure everyone goes through.
Yeah.
Is like, as you go through each phase and you do the process, we want you to make, we really want you to come out of the other end, with a lot more knowledge than you did going in.
No, definitely. I think it's the big one for me, like I say, was that the little things add up. Like if I just grab a handful of grapes or whatever, I'd be like, 20 calories doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, it does matter if you're trying to lose the weight.
For sure.
And then there was one other one I was going to say as well. Oh yeah, so like the big jumps in the scale, I always used to get distracted and say, oh, clear, like I've eaten too much, I've got something really wrong. But I think when you broke it down in one of the videos and you were like, actually, in like a kilo of fat, there's like 7,000 calories or something like that. And it's like, there's no way. Like, if I've gone up a kilo in a day, it doesn't mean I've eaten 7,000 calories. Like, that's going to be water weight. That's going to be holding something, whatever. So don't stress about it.
Yeah, that always makes me feel better.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, oh yeah, okay. Just remember,
Yeah, I didn't eat 10,000 calories yesterday, so it's fine.
Or did I?
Did I?
Yeah, freaking out. Did I sleep eat?
Yeah. I did have a bit of a breakdown actually in like week 13, 14, and messaged Kieran. I think I've got my tracking way wrong. Like, nothing's happening.
Yeah, I remember
he was like,
that.
Stop panicking.
I remember that. Kieran messaged me after. He's like, Micky's freaking out. I'm like, yeah. No, it's good. It's good. And you know what? Everyone goes through the freak out.
Yeah.
Everyone. So we're very used to it.
Yeah,
You know,
no, cool. It's
very
not just me.
yeah, not just you.
Cool.
Well, look, dude, it was really, really, really good to catch up with you.
No, you too, you too.
I'm exceptionally proud of you. Like,
No, thank you.
I said it already. Like, people going through this process, and I said it in the beginning. Like, this is actually really hard, and I try
Yeah,
to make it very clear. Like, what we're doing is going to be super hard.
yeah.
But you did it.
No, definitely. It feels super good. So yeah, and thanks to you and Kieran as well, and everyone on the team for like the support and like the constant encouragement. Like, I think just keeping me accountable as well. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, every day, no, you have to check in every day. You have to submit this
Mm.
stuff every week and be honest about it. Like, I think you said, you know, if you lie and you're like, oh yeah, I've gone down like 2 centimeters on the waist. If you lie, you're just lying to yourself. So
Yeah,
screw it,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah. No, well done, brother.
No, thank you
Very
very
well
much.
done. Well, thank you so much for waking up nice and early for this
No,
call.
of course.
And I'm excited to see how we go
Yeah, see
in
what
the
happens next.
competition locking phase. We'll
Yeah,
see how this physique progresses.
yeah, looking forward to it. I'll come
Cool.
back to you in
Right.
3 or 4 months with bigger arms and
Yeah.
everything. It'll be good.
We'll try and bump you up a few percentiles.
Exactly.
All right, dude.
Amazing.
Enjoy. Have
Thank
a
you very
great
much. Have
day.
a great day. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya.